Okay, let's jump into consequences. So, first of all, again, I'm going to reiterate this. It's given with the intent to teach. And the goal here is that we're going to build in these kids skills that they can use, hopefully, for the rest of their lives. It's going to require all of the adult powers and skills of conscious discipline that we've covered. That's why it's the last one, because it truly asks you to step outside of what you probably would naturally go to if there's a conflict or challenge in front of you, which is reactivity. Okay. Now, the power of intention asks us to see mistakes as an opportunity to learn. If we have the intent to punish, okay, very little learning happens with punishment. We if you've gotten this far in these videos, I'm hoping you are clinging to the wisdom of when we know better, we do better. We know better. We have new science from, and I say new, but 1990 on, where we can actually see changes in the brain. And we know that when people are made to feel worse, they don't act better. You might get better at not getting caught. You might get great at being rebellious and resentful, but you're probably not going to learn a new skill except, oh, I'm going to hide it better next time. Okay. Now, if you come in with the intention to save, we also don't want that. We don't want our kids never to accept or be accountable for when they make a mistake. Mistakes are an opportunity to learn. And if we take that away from them, then we're doing them a disservice. Okay. So there's a phrase that we have now that we used to prepare the child for the path, meaning giving them as many skills as they need so that no matter what comes, they got resilience and grit. Now we see a lot of people preparing the path for the child, whereas the child is just expected to walk along this beautiful, smooth path. But what if there's a bump in the road? That's when we see kids stumble and fall, and they don't have that resilience or that grit to kind of dust off and move forward in their young adulthood. So what we need with with consequences is with the intent to teach, to discipline, right? To move forward, to build in those skills that you either have or to teach new skills. And we'll get into when you use those. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So, one of the hardest things with conscious discipline is that we ask you to use the powers and the skills and don't fall back on old neural pathways or old tapes in your brain. A way of doing this, and some of you can relate to this, is have you ever said, I will never discipline my kids the way I was disciplined, or I will never use that specific strategy the way it was used on me? Okay. And then as soon as you get angry, you hear those words come out of your mouth and you're like, where did they come from? Well, they are written deep, deep, deep in your brain. And so when you get triggered or when you get reactive, you bypass your thinking part and you go straight to that reactive part. And all those pieces are stored there beautifully. Okay. So this is this whole do what I say, not what I do mentality. You hear this a lot. A lot of times you'll see, I love this. When I see this in grocery stores, you'll have two siblings. One will hit the other one. The other one will cry. The mother will hit the aggressor and say, in this family, we don't hit, and hit the kid. Okay, leave that there. All right. So this is really hard to understand because when we're reactive, it's going to make us pause. But again, we know better, we do better. So what types of consequences are there? Well, there's natural consequences. And these are the ones that we all know and love. And these are the most powerful consequences there are. The problem is that if a natural consequence is in place or happens, I still see adults want to step in with punishment or logical consequences. Okay. So these actually can motivate us to learn a new skill. These are natural consequences. Let's make it super simple here to kind of show you what one might look like. Let's say let's go into a kindergarten room. Littles are so fun. And you go into a kindergarten room and you've got a boy goes to another boy. He wants to get in line and he pushes the other boy. Okay. Now, the boy that he pushes, you go over, he's crying. You're going to go to the victim first. That way it gives power to the victim and not to the aggressor. You're going to the victim first to help him up. Are you okay? Yes. Did you like it when he pushed you? No. Okay. Tell him, I don't like it. I don't like it. Very good. Now we're giving the victim a voice so they can learn. Stay with me. Natural consequence. Here it comes. Do you want him to stand by you in line, or do you want him to go to the end of the line? Most children will say, I want him to go to the end of the line. That's a natural consequence. If you have the child that is a pleaser and doesn't want to cause any trouble and says, he can stand here, then give them the permission to say, it's okay if you don't want him to stand by you because he hurt you, and ask again. Now, if they continue to say, he can stand here, then you can address that piece through telling the aggressor, she is letting you stand, or he is letting you stand beside him. Next time, if you want in line, say, excuse me, may I get in here, please? Say it now for practice. Okay. That's the natural consequence. Okay. The natural consequence is he would be moved to the end of the line. And then suddenly he realizes that's not the way he makes friends. All right. All right. Logical consequences are what we do, but these can be skills that we already use. So natural consequences, skills, new skills, or skills we have, but they work really well for motivating us to learn a new skill. Logical consequences do not teach new skills. They motivate us to use our skills that are already in our backpack. Okay. So how do these look? Well, when you give a consequence, they have to be related. So if I don't turn in my homework, taking away playground time, not related, not a logical consequence. Make sense? Okay. Respectful. And all that means is this, it's given with the intent to teach, not to shame or punish, because we want that thinking brain open. Remember, to learn is to, they have to learn from this, which means that green brain has to be open. Okay. And it has to be reasonable. Okay. So I was in Walmart the other day and a little boy was crying in the aisle and asking for a toy, and the mother was losing her patience. And she said, if you don't stop, I'm going to take away your birthday. And the little boy, you could hear him as clear as a bell. I'll be 5 forever. And you're like, "Well, you can't take away his birthday." And I'm not judging that mom, because look, we've all been there to where I'll take away every birthday you got. I'll even take away Christmas. But the consequences should be related, given with the intent to teach, so that respectful and reasonable. Does it make sense? Does it match the age of the child? Right? So you're not going to tell 10-year-olds they have to paint the whole gym. That's not going to work either. All right, let's keep going. So tattling actually falls into consequences here, which is really cool because a lot of people struggle with tattling. So if a child says, he pushed me, then we're going to teach the skill of assertiveness. And we're going to say, you're going to ask, did you like it? No. Then use your big voice. I don't like it. I don't like it when you push me. What do you want him to do next time? Okay. How about this one? She's not cleaning up. She's not coming. That kind of tattling. You can ask, are you telling me to be helpful or hurtful? You look, the littles will flat out tell you hurtful, helpful or hurtful. Helpful. If you want to be helpful, go ask her if she needs help getting started. If you're being hurtful in this classroom, we're being helpful, and go ask her if she needs help to be getting started. We're going to teach her how to be helpful. Now, the last one, huge. Hey, Miss Joy, Malachi just walked out the room. Thank you for telling me. We need our snitches. I need to know if someone's leaving the room, leaving the building, leaving the playground, or leaving the property. right? And this is, I got this. Thank you for telling me. A lot of times I'll hear people say to kids, mind your business, mind your business. The kids, Miss Joy, mind your business, mind your business. We had a classroom where a child got up and walked out and not a single child said a word to a teacher. Why would they not tattle? Hey, he's leaving. Because the teacher's policy was, you stay in your world and mind your business. We do need our kids to tattle to let us know if a child is being unsafe. This is a way to differentiate those. Okay. So effective consequences have to be with connected children. Disconnected kids don't care about consequences. FYI. Disconnected kid, dangerous kid, don't care. The children have to possess the skill that you're wanting them to use. Okay. And then they are also left understanding that a positive choice, positive outcome, negative choice, negative outcome. They have to understand, look, this is hard. This was the choice you chose. And it feels bad. I hate that. I know that's bad for it. It's yucky when we make bad choices. We're not happying them up. Okay. So what does a logical consequence look like? This is a very well laid out version. I'm going to tell you a simple version as well that works great in the moment. Positive choice, positive outcome, negative choice, negative outcome. Which do you choose? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Okay. You can let me look, the littles are so easy, and it's just because middle school and high school, the environments are so much more complicated. So creating scenarios for them is a little harder. But in the moment, if you ask, it's easier. Because with the younger kids, it's just a little bit simpler. So let's do a simple one, right? You want to sit with your friend and do this puzzle. Yes? Yes. Phenomenal. If you sit with your friend and do the puzzle, you can work on it together. But as soon as you throw a piece or get loud, you will stand up and you will go to your table, and you will no longer be at this table with this friend in this puzzle. Do you understand? Yes. Which do you choose? I want to sit here with this friend. Phenomenal. Are they going to do it perfectly? Nope. They make 5 minutes. They may make 10 minutes. As soon as it happens, they throw the pieces, they get loud, they get rambunctious, they break your logical consequence, right? You're going to say, oh, you know what? You worked so hard on that. Let's try this again tomorrow. But right now, hop it up. You're going to go over here. No, I don't want to. Look, we're going to do this again. You can try again tomorrow. But right now, you chose this outcome. And this is pretty hard. I get it. So stand up, go that way. All right. But you're not going to come with this energy. Nobody would come with this energy. I knew you couldn't do it. And that's why I even said, are you sure you want to do this? Because I knew you couldn't. You're always messing up. Or even something like this. Here we go. Just take yourself over there. You're going to acknowledge that they did some of the hard work, even if it was 1 minute. Because guess what? The next day, when you give them this option again, they may make it for 12 minutes. They may make it then for 15 minutes. They may make it for 20 minutes. That is how you build skills. They're not built just one time. That would make teaching so simple, and it's not. Okay. All right. Consequences. These are tough. This is some of the harder things we got to kind of chew on and process, but you got your book. Always use your book. Your book goes very deep into these, and you can give you more information. Also, the Conscious Discipline website has a lot of this information as well. And they have a whole members area where you can download handouts and PDFs and things like that to help you. All right. Hope it helps.